Hello, I am Vidula Tokekar of TranslationPanacea, and I'm going to tell you what happens in an interpretation session. There are two types of interpretation. One is simultaneous interpretation and the other is consecutive interpretation. In simultaneous interpretation, as the name suggests, the speaker is speaking and the interpreter is interpreting. So the interpreter is listening and speaking at the same time. And in consecutive interpretation, the speaker speaks, stops, the interpreter interprets, and then the next speaker speaks. Again, the interpreter interprets, and then some other speaker speaks. So when is simultaneous interpretation used and when consecutive? So simultaneous interpretation is useful when there is a discussion going on or a conference going on and there is a panel discussion going on. Simultaneous interpretation is good. When a lecture which is pre-circulated or pre-written, like in high-level meetings, a lecture is delivered, the interpretation is simultaneous. So when the speaker is speaking or showing some presentation, the interpreter goes on interpreting simultaneously. Also, in some kinds of training, also the simultaneous interpretation helps a lot. In consecutive interpretation, it is very necessary that the exact, accurate and complete comprehension of the speech is required. Where it is required? In corporate meetings or in political meetings. When the person stops, then the interpreter starts speaking and then the other person speaks. So when the complete understanding is at most crucial, then consecutive interpretation is used. Where is the skill of the interpreter? The skill of the interpreter is that they have to think very fast. As if they don't think while interpreting, the interpretation goes so fast and so smooth. Also, request the speakers, when especially simultaneous interpretation is going on, to speak a bit slowly, minding that the interpreter is interpreting. Any two languages behave very differently. The sentence construction is different. Sometimes the negation of the sentence comes at the end. So unless the speaker completes the sentence, the interpreter does not know whether this is a positive sentence or there is a negation involved. So, and the interpreter does not have the time to wait until the sentence is completed and then speak. So this is a skill of the interpreter to predict it accurately and speak. Another thing is that the interpreter, when he or she has the knowledge of the subject and the event, then they know the context and the contextual interpretation happens, and that it benefits the listeners a lot. Thus, the interpretation helps both the parties to understand what the other party is saying completely and accurately, and take the discussion or take the transaction to the next level. Happy interpreting!